what keeps coming through to me over and over again is Ace was a large part of their sound.
Absolutely.
First three records, like he almost sounds like he's the driving force.
It'd be hard for me to argue that because he, like I said, everything he has adds so much flavor perfectly on their songs.
Yep. I like, again, I'm not picking on Vinny, but I don't see Vinny being able to control a song with his guitar sound. He would
overwhelm it. Yeah.
Right. Ace seemed to have no ego. Where it fit, he put it in. If it didn't fit, he didn't put it in. Like we spoke earlier about the length of solos. Like if the right kind of solo was a short solo, he put it in. If it was a melodic solo, he put it in. We're through roughly 30 songs. I don't think out of those 30 songs that I would say, oh, that solo doesn't fit in.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
The record, and I can do that for almost every guitar player.
You know what, though? And listen, I'm a fan of Ace. I always will be. But I think it plays a part in his ego. He knew that, too. He knew that. Which is not, there's nothing against that, but I think he knew what he brought to the table. And I think he felt underappreciated at times.
I'm not sure if he knew what he brought to the table by the time Dress to Kill comes around. I do know one thing. Once we get to the solo albums, I absolutely believe that
was a game changer.
He looked around and said, I have the #1 solo album. I don't need these guys. They need me.
Do you think if they were able to get talked out of doing solo albums, how much it would have changed? We're going into, I'm getting in the weeds again. I have ADHD, guys, sorry. But how much does it change the band if they don't do the solo albums? If they don't get individual egos to that level?
Well, my argument to that would be that's the reason why they did the solo album.
That's a good way to look at it. I didn't think of that. Yeah, I didn't think of that.
I mean, everything that I have heard and everything that I have read, Gene and Paul were not the driving force of the solo records. And for that matter, I've never heard that Peter was. It was Ace.
Well, when you hear Ace's album, you can understand why. He felt like he had so much more to give.
Ace wanted to do that. Ace did it. Ace went with the producer that he wanted, Eddie Kramer. And look, it's a great record. It's the best by far of the solo albums. But, did it ultimately... It
was a game changer for the band.
Yeah, it ultimately probably is what, in large part, broke them up. But the fact that they had... I thought, if you think back on it, it's a great idea. We're going to release 4 solo albums. And this is also not an original take by any means. This has been said on other podcasts, so I don't want to take credit for it. And I can't remember where it was said, but can you imagine if you take all 4 of those solo records and pick out just the good songs and make them a KISS record? That's a pretty damn good KISS record.
Yeah, because there's songs on every album I like.
Yep. There's not, the Peter Criss solo album is universally known as, I think, accepted as the worst of the 4. And I agree with that, but there's 1 or 2 good songs on there that you could throw on a record. Gene Simmons, and we are in the weeds, and I don't have ADHD. That's been diagnosed. But Gene Simmons' record is probably the most schizophrenic of all of them, but it still has radioactive. I don't really
Me
know if
too.
anything else on his. Paul Stanley's is probably the closest to Ace.
Yeah, but you know what? Honestly, I could say I was disappointed with Paul's.